Buhari renews appointment of Colonel M.D. Bikio, retired, as interim administrator of Presidential Amnesty Program. African Minister of Aviation kick against proposal to impose vaccine passports for air travelers. Plus, Cross River State Garment Factory workers commend state government for making the factory functional. Details shortly. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Uduak Eto. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the renewal of appointment of Colonel M.D. Bikio, retired, as interim administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Program for another one-year tenure. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, Colonel Bikio was first appointed in August 2020 and has, despite the challenges, been able to command widespread respect among the various stakeholders in the Niger Delta region. The Supreme Court in Abuja has affirmed Professor Charles Soludo, the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, as the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA) for the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State. The five-man panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice Mary Odili, in unanimous decision, upheld the judgment of the Kano State Division of the Court of Appeal, which validated the primary election that produced Professor Soludo. The Supreme Court held that the Appellate Court was right in quashing the judgment of Jigawa State High Court that recognized the parallel primary election conducted by the Jude Okeke-led faction of APGA. In spite of the destruction of facilities by the NSAS protests in 2020 at the Cross River State Garment Factory, widows and youths are glad that the state government has sustained their means of livelihood by making the factory functional. Paul Abel reports on life-changing stories from the factory.
We are right here at the garment factory premises where they are doing their induction, and after this induction they are expected to commence work because we're also ramping up to 3 full shifts, so we actually need additional hands. Federal government must support programs of this nature across the entire country to ensure that young people have jobs.
Effium is one of the many youths in Cross River State who can now fend for himself and contribute to societal development without being a burden to anybody, due to the privilege of working at a Cross River Garment Factory. Like Effium, these ones here have similar testimonies, as skills acquired from this place over the years have made them fit to render services on daily basis to different clients.
People around my neighborhood, they give me clothes, I make clothes for them, I sew senators, sew t-shirts, based on what I've been taught here in this Cross River State Garment Factory. So I make those things to make additional money. I don't depend on my stipends.
These testimonies are contrary to the erroneous perception by a segment of society that the garment factory is not functional.
We are not playing. We are coming here for work every day. It's serious. It's not 419 something. It's real. So I appreciate my governor. So we are happy. Poor widows are here. Orphanages are here. But we've gotten what to eat. He put food on our table.
We used to work every time. When the work come, even the individual time, individual work that you work at home, it's not every time that you work where they work. We used to come out every time. Once in a while, the while will come. But here we work. That is how people, they want to scandalize the name of the governor that we are not working.
A representative of the Cross River State government gives updates on the activities and functionality of the garment factory.
First, the challenge of the NSAS, protest. They entered here. A lot of the machines were vandalized. A lot were picked, but we've replaced a whole lot of them. We've walked them too, and right now we've returned back to full production. Cross River Garment Factory produce t-shirts, we produce boxers, we produce school uniforms, we produce coveralls, we produce jeans.
The Cross River Garment Factory was inaugurated in 2017 by Vice President Yemi Osibajo to serve the garment needs of the South-South zone. In Calabar, Paul Abel, Nta News.
9 secondary schools from 6 African countries are joining experts to tackle plastic pollution in coastal environments. In Nigeria, the study to end plastic pollution around riverine communities has already kicked off at the Ibono Beach. Clement Barikwe reported that the exercise is spearheaded by Partnership for Observation of the Global Ocean through the Collect project.
On this study are students and teachers of University of Calabar International Secondary School. They are referred to as citizens scientists, as it is expected of them to contribute to scientific research in the area of ocean pollution. At the Ibona Beach, the student and expert from the University of Calabar observed and collected plastic litter for further studies and analysis.
In a situation where we have so many plastics, we advise the government for them to, create a nameless environment for the plastics to be sorted out. And if you sort out plastics, you can recycle them.
Some of the students and their teachers described the exercise as a worthwhile experience.
And I always hear about pollution of the ocean on TV, but seeing it has really taught me a lot to try and keep my environment clean.
We can help to reduce the amount of damage that can happen to aquatic animals.
We've talked about plastics and the pollutions in the ocean, and we've seen from the samples we have collected, truly in theory, that indeed it is in practicals.
Result of the study is expected to be made public to assist Nigerians and regulators take informed decisions against plastic waste in the country's coastal areas. In Uyo, Clement Barquin, NTA News.
You are still watching Nta Calabar News at 7. You can equally watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/NTA Calabar. A break now, the news continues shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for being there. African ministers of aviation have described the proposal to impose vaccine passports for air travelers as unacceptable, as it is tantamount to discrimination against certain groups of population, especially on the African continent, which still has a considerable number of its citizens who are yet to receive the COVID-19 vaccines. They also described the proposal as ongoing against the intent of the Chicago Convention on the need to preserve friendship and understanding, reduce threats to general security, and establish international air transport based on equal opportunity operated soundly and economically. The African minister's delegation position was made known in a presentation to the ongoing International Civil Aviation Organization high-level conference on COVID-19 by Nigerian Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika. Sirika, on their behalf, also recommended that human rights, regional or continental, global health security, economic growth, social cohesion, and good international relations, and use of innovation and technology worldwide to harmonize requirements should be promoted. 251 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in the country as at 13 October 2021, according to the NCDC. FCT topped the chart with 78 cases, followed by Lagos 46, Kaduna 27, Rivers 21, Imo 16, Edo 13, and Delta with 12 cases. Other states are Plateau 10, Niger 7, Bauchi and Kwara State 6 cases each, Akwa Ibom State 4, Benue 3, and Nasarawa 2 cases. The total confirmed cases of the pandemic stands at 208,404 cases, in which 196,123 persons have been discharged, while 2,761 persons died of the virus. The eye, as one of the most sensitive organs of the body and window to the world, requires regular checks to keep it safe from any damage. This is the message of the Nigerian Optometrists Association Benue State Chapter during a free eye care for staff of the Nigerian Television Authority Makurdi Network Center. Sandra Dose Akeme reports that the gesture is in commemoration of the 2021 World Sight Day.
That organization has said that over 50 million people have various visual impairments globally from causes that could have been prevented, which necessitate regular care for the eyes. It is to reverse this ugly trend that the World Health Organization instituted the World Sight Day, which is marked every second week of October, to raise awareness on issues concerning eye health care and to remind people of the importance of regular eye checks. As part of activities to mark the 2021 World Sight Day, the Nigerian Optometrists Association Benue State Chapter carried out a free eye screening and donation of eyeglasses where appropriate to staff of the NTA Network Center Makudi.
Better have an eye check on time, and that's why we are here today, so that we can look at the back of the eye. If you have glaucoma, we advise you accordingly. If you have cataract, we advise you accordingly. And if your problem is issue that glasses can correct, we also try to provide some glasses for some of us.
The Zonal Director, Mr. Pam Dunyam, and other staff applauded the gesture as it will enhance their sight and contribute towards more quality service delivery.
They have also given us some useful advice with regards to the eye, how to take care of the eye, how to manage ourselves, and how to prevent further decay.
I'm encouraging everyone out there to go and do an eye check, because don't take your eyes for granted.
The World Sight Day, which was instituted in 2000, has its theme, Love Your Eyes, for the 2021 edition, which aims at highlighting the importance of being aware of one's own eye health. In Makudi, Sandra Doisi Akeme, NTA News.
Statistics show that about 10 million people the world over die of thrombosis-related diseases, and to reverse the narrative, the international community set aside 13 October every year to create awareness in the society to forestall occurrences of many deaths by thrombosis. Erika Ibe reports that the theme for this year's celebration is Eyes Open to Thrombosis.
Statistics reveal that about 904 persons die annually in Cross River State due to thrombosis, otherwise known as blood clotting. And this trend has become worrisome to stakeholders who say that a significant number of people in the society are ignorant of the symptoms and prevention of the disease.
Do you know what thrombosis is?
No, sincerely, I don't. I think this is the first time I'm actually hearing about that word. They can hold seminars, training, to train the society about it.
To create awareness to the people so that people will understand. Because a layperson could not understand what you mean by thrombosis.
To mark the day for the first time in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, stakeholders and medical personnel are advocating government to provide facilities for quick diagnosis, prevention and treatment of people with thrombosis.
And the flow of blood carries oxygen and nutrients for all cells of the body to get energy and continue the activities. So when blood clots within the human body, it will block further flow to areas beyond the place of blockade.
People should know that they need to keep fit, a lot of exercise, eating right.
Going down the community to educate them on thrombosis.
At a one-day workshop organized by Hematology and Blood Transfusion Department, University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, Calabar, the consultant hematologist, Dr. Akaba Kingsley, highlighted symptoms related to thrombosis and advised members of the public to embrace proper and routine check-up.
Before now, there has been several myths associated with thrombosis. Somebody dies without waking up or sleeping, and people say, oh, it's witchcraft. But sometimes it's just thrombosis. Because thrombosis is so severe that when it occurs, you might not be able to save that patient. Even with prompt intervention, it depends on how prompt you are. So we need to be proactive than reactive.
Some Nigerians are appealing that awareness should be extended to villages and faith-based organizations to prevent high rate of mortality in the society. In Calabar, Erika Ivi, NTA News.
Equipping journalists with appropriate and updated information to impact the public positively on prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and AIDS in Nigeria has been a burning resolve of the federal government and the United Nations in the last 17 years. Paul Ebel reports that sustaining the tempo is the reason for the convergence of journalists across the country in Calabar for a dialogue to produce a work plan.
For Moses, like other participants in this media dialogue, Having access to correct data to inform the public is not just about numbers but saving lives as it relates to mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS as well as helping children and adolescents living with the disease. It is towards achieving this purpose that the United Nations Children's Fund and the Federal Ministries of Information and Culture and that of Health are engaging these major stakeholders with series of lectures.
I really don't want to misinform my audience, so this has helped me to get the right information, connect me to right, experts to speak with.
But if you are consistent in your messaging, the message is able to be carried to them, and we're hoping that there'll be some behavior change to possibly impact the program in Nigeria.
We want to use this opportunity to increase the demand creation, increase talking to all our pregnant women to ensure that they seek these services across board and ensure that they get the right services from all points of care. Yeah.
People are hiding children because of HIV. Do it no more. Bring them out. Many health facilities will do HIV testing, and we move from there.
The message here, moving forward, is to see, test all pregnant women as well as link and treat all HIV pregnant women while documenting and reporting such efforts towards attaining zero infection among children. Some of the participants share their experiences.
We have a group of journalists who are focused on helping to disseminate the messages and educate the public.
We are also there to ensure that we report what is necessary or update the people what they need to know concerning HIV and AIDS.
Stakeholders agree that despite the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, the fight to eliminate mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS has improved with policy documents as guidelines and different programs to create access to health facilities and antiretroviral drugs. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And now let's join our sport desk for an update.
From 36 states of the Federation and the FCT converged for screening ahead of the commencement of the games on Friday.
Everybody was cleared. The issues we are having are usually in soccer, athletics, and some other sports, but we are definitely coping with them.
Team Ekiti emerged champions of the 2021 NYSC Sports Festival, which ended midweek at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, after beating Team Anambra NYSC 1-0 in the final of the football event. In athletics, Onwuna Mary of Team FCT, with a time of 12.65 seconds, won the 100 meters women's event, while the fastest man of the festival is Abidoku Emmanuel of Team Delta, who ran a time of 10.30 seconds to win the 100 meters men's event.
The fiesta is also aimed at strengthening national unity and integration through the interactions of the youth.
Chad has qualified for the football final of the ongoing Organization of Military Sports in Africa Maiden Chief of Defense Staff Sahel Games in Abuja. Chad held 9-man Nigeria Armed Forces team to a 1-1 draw in their second match of the competition to garner 4 points, while Nigeria will fight for a third-place finish with only 2 points from 2 matches.
Really so hard, difficult and tough, especially in front of Nigeria, one of the great nations of football in Africa.
Still on football, Sunshine Stars of Akure beat Niger Tornadoes 3-1 on day 3 of the Prince Dabo Abiodun pre-season tournament, while Remo Stars defeated MFM FC by 3-2. Meanwhile, Basketball Players Association of Nigeria has kicked against the decision of the Federation to conduct election of the Federation in Benin City, Edo State, come 30th of October, citing non-inclusivity amongst other reasons.
We want to call upon all the stakeholders and whoever is in charge to come in and weigh into this crisis. The crisis is not gone.
Olaleko Kela Jolu reports that efforts have been made at different quarters to reconcile disputing parties in the MBBF. That's Sports Update. I am Kenan Ima Abudike.
To end the news, a recap of the major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the renewal of appointment of Colonel MDD Kyo, retired, as interim administrator of Presidential Amnesty Program. African Minister of Aviation has kicked against proposal to impose vaccine passports for air travelers. It was also in the news that the Cross River State Garment factory workers have commended the state government for making the factory functional. That is it on our news tonight. Thanks for watching and do have a lovely evening. Good night.